Sam!
What's up, Don Swain?
Oh my God, what a great conversation that was.
You talking about with Leroy?
I am talking about our very recent conversation with Leroy Hickman.
Well, man, we got to start October off right with some darkness, am I right?
Well, it wasn't all darkness, but we did have a little bit for you folks that like the dark.
Mm-hmm. We're talking creepy dolls, photography of such, and horror movies.
No, we talked a lot about music. We talked about his love for metal music and horror movies and experiences with finding random shit in the woods and taking pictures of it. It was a really great conversation.
This dude goes to abandoned farms and finds the creepiest stuff.
It's amazing. So, yeah, and we've got him in the 5th annual Dark Art Show over at Casciano's for the whole month of October. You can see some of his stuff in person there. Check out his stuff. You can go see him at Raven Dark Photography on the Instagrams and the Facebooks. Yeah, check him out.
Yeah, and definitely go to Casciano's. Check out the dark arts all month long in October. You will not be disappointed. And you won't be disappointed with this interview either. So, Don, please introduce our guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leroy Hickman. You surprised me with the start of this.
I'm quick with pressing that
you
button.
You
dude.
are very quick. We're here again.
Once
I really
again.
enjoy this. I think each week I enjoy it more and more. I think the people that we have had a chance to chat with has been phenomenal, and learned so much more about people, and I don't think today's going to be any different. We have with us today Leroy Hickman Jr.
Hey, Leroy, can you bring this just a little closer, dude?
Hey.
There you go, brother.
Yeah, so I know you from seeing you around the art scene and in town, and from vending with us and being in our gallery shows, but it occurred to me, I guess it was during Cataclysm, was it like last week or the week before, I want to know a little bit more about you, especially when we started talking about your photography and how long you've been doing it, and I kind of want to dig in there and start talking about all this stuff.
You were talking about diving deep, huh?
Yeah, I want to do a deep dive, a deep Leroy dive.
By the way, Leroy, excuse me, I just got to say on what you were saying earlier, Don, I literally was wondering today, I was like, I know Don was really enjoying the podcast, but maybe that was a honeymoon phase.
No.
I hope he's still all in.
No, I'm all in. I'm going to double down.
Double down.
I guess.
Bro.
I don't know. I don't know cards. I don't know cards.
I won't gamble, man. If I lose $10, I get so pissed off.
I know. I need my lunch money. I need my lunch money. I need my chocolate milk.
So, Leroy, we were trying to talk, and Don kept saying, "Nope, save it for the show." So I got to ask, man, you've had your own podcast before?
I did played music and stuff like that, and
like you were DJ?
it's like a DJ podcast type thing, and
What kind of music did you play?
a lot of rock, metal, stuff like that.
Yeah. What kind of bands?
I did a lot of unsigned ones. I would get independent bands and
Local people?
local, and then there was a website where I got people from all over the world, and
Oh, wow.
they had their music.
How'd you find random people?
I would go to a lot of local shows and run into people and get their CDs, and they would send me music, and
Is there any legal stuff with that? Because I know all the time, Joe Rogan, for example, he won't play any music because he's like, we'll get taken down for this. I mean, I guess if you're not Joe Rogan and you're just doing a little, no one's going to give a shit.
If I had 10 listeners, so it's not like it's that big. So
a solid 10 listeners.
yeah, I'll sell 10.
Yeah. So, do you still go to concerts often?
I don't go as much as I used to,
Yeah.
but I did a lot of local stuff, and
Dude, I gotta ask. So what you guys don't know, but I mentioned it earlier, is I saw it. Just so happens because of the universe. I took my kids to martial arts class, and I happened to see Leroy, not knowing it was Leroy, and I noticed him because he has this crazy shirt on with is that a
sloth?
That's
It's
a murderous sloth
Yeah.
cooking marshmallows in the fire of a skull.
Yeah, I went to New Jersey Horror Con on Saturday, and I ran into this guy, and it's a comic book. So I got the comic book, and I had to get the shirt.
The matching T-shirt. Yeah. Is the book as good of a read as the shirt suggests?
Yeah, the comic book's really good.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you like horror comics?
Yes.
Dude, right now, Don, I know you're not. We always end up talking about horror, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Poor Don Swenson.
It's all right.
But, dude, you know what I started reading the other day? It's so good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're into horror and art, you got to check out. Have you heard of Nailbiter?
No, I haven't.
Dude, if you get a chance, check out Nailbiter.
Nailbiter, all right.
It's so good.
Okay.
It's so good. I love horror and I love comics.
Yeah, I love horror and comics.
Check it out. We'll talk more about it. We don't want to totally drive Don crazy.
That's okay. You guys, I'll just sit back.
Yeah, actually,
talk
why don't you
amongst
leave?
yourself.
Can you just
That's
get the hell out of here? No, I can't do it without you. Don't. He's stepping away.
I'll see you later.
Dude, that's a good sound effect, man. God, ladies and gentlemen, he was
Fully
actually-
worked by Don Swenson.
Yeah, amazing.
Thank you. So Leroy, I met you basically through your photography,
Right.
and
I believe it's Smithville.
it's probably Smithville. I love the stuff that you do. It's fun and a little surreal and a little dark and it's just super interesting and not like anything that I've really seen before from anybody that I know of. So I know you've been doing this, like we talked about this, and you've been doing photography for 30 years. So before jumping into where we met, like what got you into photography in the first place, and what sort of led you to I guess where I met you?
Well, I've always liked taking pictures, but I had friends, we'd go hiking, and I just started taking nature stuff, and then people started liking it, and people were like, oh, I posted on like MySpace when I was there, and people would still take pictures and use it for their backdrops on their laptops.
Do you still remember your top 8?
I don't.
Depends on who I was dating that week.
Right.
Or who I was trying to date.
Yeah.
I think I found a book or something that had like person to take pictures with dolls and stuff. I was like, well, that's pretty cool, and I figured I would try it. And my daughter's sister was young, and she had a bunch of dolls laying around, so I just started messing with that. And
Oh, nice.
Dude, I'm looking at one of your pieces now, and it's pretty captivating. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm looking at is a photograph of, I believe it's is this $2 in a mask, or are these
$3?
$3.
it's $2, and my friend took a picture from a magazine and wrapped it around styrofoam. It's like a styrofoam.
Oh my God, that's so cool. And these dolls, they look cracked and they look beaten down and they all look very serious and they're all kind of facing the same direction, like they're off looking for, I don't know, that's up to the viewer, maybe their next victim, or maybe they're looking for their mom because they're like little babies. It's really dark, dude, and it's got the trees and maybe a sunset in the background, man. Like, tell me, like, how does something like this come to be?
Well, me and my friend, we got hiking, and my friend Wayne, he's like, we go hiking, we go to old farms, and there's trash piles, and we find these doll heads and dolls and trash, and he saves them. He does art with them, and he had to take pictures for his sister. His sister wanted a picture of all these dolls, so we piled them up in his yard one day and invited me over to take pictures so he can send them to his sister. So we I did a bunch of different ones. And
Are these like abandoned barns you're talking about?
they're old, yeah, like in the woods, in the corners. Like they used to throw their trash in the corner. My farmers did. They would throw their trash in the corner of the
You
field.
find dolls there?
There's dolls and bottles and all kind of fun stuff.
Oh my God, I've got to introduce you to my best friend Eric. He still does that to this day too. Just goes in the woods. You know, back in the day, he'd find Playboys like everyone else back in the day. But all kinds of crazy stuff. Dude, that's so weird.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, we have fun doing it, and we like hiking and doing stuff and just exploring and finding old stuff. And
Well, what I find interesting about them, specifically, is that they. As soon as I'm just. This is good radio, everybody.
We could keep talking about MySpace if you want.
Could we? Because I never really got I never really learned coding enough to get that.
Yeah, I used to take pictures, like random pictures. When I first got my phone, I had a camera. I would take just random pictures. Even when I would go on shop and just take random pictures and make little stories on MySpace, talking about just.
What started you with photography? Like, how did this come to be?
I guess just hiking with friends. I started working with a guy, and he liked going hiking and taking pictures. And I bought a camcorder that took pictures too. It was like a digital. Then before that, I did a lot of concert stuff. And
we had talked briefly about the concert stuff. Like what got you sort of like started to dial in, like, oh, this is some of the stuff that I like to do?
Well, I would go to local shows like in the mid '90s and just take pictures because I was having fun, and then people started liking it and asking me to do it, and so I would just go out and do pictures and video and whatever.
Yeah. Do you do any processing of your work afterwards? Like, do you do any Photoshop on it, or is that all in camera?
Most of it's in camera. I do a little bit of Photoshop, maybe just the color a little bit, but and with the doll ones, I did just try different filters on them. And
so back when you were doing that in the '90s, that was like way before these pieces of electronic. What were you using back then?
I had a film camera, so I'd walk around with a little fanny pack thing. He would roll some film in it, and just.
Did you do the whole thing like that dark room, or you?
I never did dark room. I just sent them out to get developed. But that's something I would like to learn, is the dark room, because I've never done it. So.
Wow.
That'd be fun.
And what kind of music are you saying? You'd go to any musician, or are you talking specifically rock, metal?
Yeah, I did mostly rock and metal, but I had a friend that used to do. He would book shows, and I'd help him out and take pictures, and there was a variety of stuff.
That's cool, man. Do you have any like formal training, or are you all self-taught?
Self-taught. I just see what I like and take a picture of it.
How did you get good in the '90s before the internet taught you how to do everything? Like,
I
just point and shot and figured it out the old school way,
yeah, a bunch of bad fixtures, and then it started getting better.
Yeah, back when you had to print them, and then you get like one good one.
Yeah.
I usually take pictures of like random stuff just to use up the rest of the film, and I had a bunch of cats in my cars and whatever. Just to use up the film and take it develop.
Yeah. Like there's something like, and I finally pulled it up, and then we did talking. So what I find super interesting about your work is that it's not just a photograph. There's relationship between the subjects in the photos. There's emotional context. There's always something that makes you want to see what, like you have all these dolls in there, and I want to see what that doll's seeing. So like, where does that come from? Like, how do you set the scene and compose these relationships?
I guess I feel like I try to have a story in my head, and I try to capture it and try to
like what's the story behind the dolls?
That was just my friend set them up, and
that was just a point and shoot kind of thing.
That was and just try to get it at an angle where it felt like.
Or how about this one?
That one I was like, I would like to do like a whole story with that one, just like the cat girl thing is. Yeah, that's on a journey and finds that maybe it's a portal or something.
That's like your, like, I've seen this cat girl in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a reoccurring character.
Yeah, like this, like looking into the lantern.
Yeah, that was on my my picnic table outside the house.
Yeah, it's just the
Do
lighting.
you develop like characters with these, like almost like they take on their own personality, or
Yeah, because it seems like certain ones fit into certain topics, so certain areas. Like somebody's just like, if I put something, I go, well, I don't feel like it belongs there, and then it doesn't have the.
like
feeling.
in your head, do these dolls like does each one have like its own individual personality? I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Like, does it go that deep, or is it just this looks cool? I'm gonna shoot this.
Yeah, it looks cool. I don't think they. I don't know. It seems like I don't know.
Well, just because you said that you're like creating a story, right?
Right.
So, like, for example, I mean, I don't know if you can be verbal about it. Like, can you explain? Is there an explanation to what's going on in that photo I was showing earlier with the two dolls and then the mask staring off? Because me, as the viewer, I'm like, what the hell are they staring at, and who are they? Like,
yeah, because that's the kind of thing I've got with that. It's like they're looking off at the distance, looking at something, and I guess it's up to you to decide
Right.
what they're looking at.
right? It definitely gives that feeling of like, it gives that, at least for me personally, it gives me that feeling of like, what's going on there? You make up in your own head. Like, in my head, like, I think they're seeing their mom who looks all crusty like they do. And like, she's coming to like get them out of the woods. That's what I'm seeing. But like, to Don might be something completely different. I
Right.
guess that's what you're aiming for,
Right.
right?
Because I've seen people say stuff about, oh, I see this or I see that, and it's not what I saw, but then it's still cool that they
That's
see
awesome.
something out of it.
Yeah, I think that's really powerful, where you can like have the audience make up part of the story in their head. Like when I look at the dolls, I'm like, oh, they're watching something very dark go down, and they're just like silent observers of whatever they're viewing at the time.
I start asking more questions. I'm just like, man, how did they get there? And like, are they siblings? Like, are they even alive? Like, what's going on?
They're dolls. They're dolls.
Oh, wait,
They're
what?
dolls. I think
I forgot that part.
they're just dolls.
I want them on my top 8, whoever they are.
We're bringing it back.
It's callback, brother. Callback. So, you said you like go through the woods. Like, are we talking like you find some like trails, or are you going like into the sticks and thorns of things?
Well, usually there's trails, but then a lot of it's overgrown, so you have to go around the thorns and the whatever's in the trees laying down. And
Where do you go? Is there a specific set of woods that you're always going to, or are you trying to find different creeks and forests and woods to go to?
you just find different places. And
Have you been doing this since you were a kid, like going through the woods and exploring kind of thing?
I did a little bit when I was younger, then as I got a teenager, I started doing more of it, and I got my license. I can drive and go places, and I was all over.
And you're going on like hikes and stuff all the time, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I'm constantly seeing you post stuff about, like you're either in the woods or you're going to like, I don't know, some cool location and stuff like that. And recently I saw that we were talking about this movie that you're working on.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about that a little bit? Can you talk about that a little bit?
I can talk a little bit. My friend Tommy Graff, he does photography too, and he does a lot of stuff with the action figures, which I guess was kind of an inspiration too, because he has a little studio set up, which I would like to do eventually. That way I could do more of a story type thing, so I can set stuff up and leave it there instead of just carrying it around in the backpack in the woods. But yeah, we've been shooting in Estelle Manor, and hopefully be out sometime next year.
That's great.
So
What kind of genre is it?
it's fantasy, sci-fi, a little bit of horror.
A little bit of horror.
Do you know? Have you ever made a film before?
I've never done a full length. I've done shorts.
So are you good with like editing and?
My friend's doing the whole thing. I do. So
What's your part in it?
I'm doing some of the behind the scenes photography, and then I'm going to be a clown and a beekeeper and a couple other things. And
You guys need any extra actors? You reach out to me, brother. I do stunts.
all right, how do you know?
I would love to. I've been in some films, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, I dated an actress, and I just went on her with auditions, and sure enough, I'm in films out there somewhere. Yeah, dude. Do you have other people in the film? Are you planning on casting? And
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're almost done this one, but I think he's working on a second one sometime next year. So
this is going to be part of a trilogy, right?
Yes.
You're saying? Yeah.
How long is it going to be? Like, how long's the first film going to be? Like,
It's probably gonna be a couple hours. I would
Really?
Say, yeah.
no way, dude.
Yeah.
Dialogue, everything.
Dialogue and
Yeah.
all that music and all that fun stuff.
That's cool.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah.
And you have a? Do you have you have a kid, right?
Yes.
I went through your Facebook. What does she think of your art?
She likes it. Yeah, she loves it, but she won't do any of the craft shows with me because it's too long and boring. but she loves my stuff.
What's a craft show?
Craft show like a
Yeah, like the Arts and Music Festival, or like like Art Walk. And
Oh,
stuff
so where
like
you're
that.
putting your art out. Yeah, those can be
Yeah,
some long days, huh?
yeah.
They can be.
Does she create too, or
She's a writer. She likes writing.
What kind of stuff does she write?
She likes a lot of like some horror type stuff, and
I'm sensing a theme here. There's a lot of horror going on.
but she does like a lot of different stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
did you grow up loving the horror genre?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your top few? Do you like are we talking like some dark stuff? Like, have you seen Terrifier?
Terrified. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Part 3 comes out next week.
Trust me, I know. John, stay as far away from Terrifier as you can, dude.
Thank you.
Bro, it's one of those movies where the people in the theater were walking out or getting sick.
Nope.
Dude, it's next level stuff. And I heard part 3 is going to be even...
Yeah, it's got like 91% on Rotten Tomato or something already. So,
Really?
Yeah. So it's like
The critics like it.
yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah, they did a movie called Stream. Did you see that one?
Stream?
Stream. It's like
That's not the one with like the YouTuber who gets in a haunted house, is it?
no. It's all those people from Terrifier, and they're in a hotel, and there's 4 people that are out to kill them, and it's a game. And they watch it on the dark web, and
Is it just as messed up as Terrifier? Oh, where can I find that?
they haven't. I guess they're going to announce it, like where they're going to play it soon. But
Oh, it's not out yet.
yeah, it was at the theater for like a week. It was
Okay.
like a limited run, but
Yeah. So out of all these horrors, like, obviously you've been inspired by them. Obviously you love them. Like, if you can name a few that inspired you the most, that inspires your work even, like, do you have those?
I always like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, come on, dude. I almost interviewed the main dude from that on my other podcast, but my co-host passed away from COVID. So yeah, the week before we were supposed to interview him. But yeah, Killer Clown's the best.
Yeah, they had them at Creature Feature in Gettysburg, and I had to work that week, and I couldn't get the weekend off, and I was so mad.
Oh, so sad. Don, have you seen Killer Clowns?
I have seen Killer Clowns. I enjoyed Killer Clowns. from
All
Outer
right,
Space.
we finally have a win with this.
There's a few out there that I like.
All
It's
right.
not really, it's not straight horror. It's got a little bit of comedy in there.
It's,
So
it's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
so ridiculous. Talk about one that you would have thought they would have like done something else with. Like, maybe it's a good idea they didn't, but like out of like Friday the 13th Part 50 and every other horror, you would have think they would have. Because I mean, till this day, was it 30 years later, 35 years?
something like that.
Yeah.
People still love and Spirit Halloween. It's
Yeah,
like
they
half
just-
their merch.
Yeah, they just like did a huge resurgence of Killer Clowns merch. And like,
I bought the
last
video
year.
game. The video game just came out.
Oh, how is it?
I hate it, dude. I don't like this style. It's like you play against other people online, and either you're a human or you're a killer clown, and you're
Yeah.
trying to survive. I like games where you can like. I like horror games where I have to like play through and
Like there's a story. To
yeah,
it.
there's a story, and I gotta make it to the end. I've always liked those kind. But are you a gamer? Do you play any horror games?
I haven't recently. I used to play a lot of role playing, Final Fantasy and stuff like that.
Nice.
Oh yeah, dude. Final Fantasy X was my jam. Love that. Yeah. So Killer Clowns. Are there any others?
I like the Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street.
The classics.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm surprised. I thought you were going to be saying like Chucky and Dolly Dearest and all the doll ones based on your art.
Yeah, Puppet Master was good.
Puppet Master.
There was
Which one was that again?
There was they had little dolls, and they had one with a drill on the head. And
Oh, yes. The different ones.
yeah, I think there's
Those,
3 or 4 of them.
Okay. Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen those.
Yeah, I like a lot of the full moon movies.
Yeah.
You know what one I kind of liked? Ginger Dead Man.
A gingerbread man.
Wasn't that like? Wasn't that what's his name?
Gary Busey.
It was Gary Busey.
Yeah.
I never thought I would have bet money you'd never even heard of that movie, but you've seen it.
No. I had dated somebody who was really into horror movies, and
you must have loved that.
You gotta watch this, and I'm like, do I? And yeah, so I watched it because that's what good boyfriends do.
Yeah, And, girlfriends too. You hear that, Lisa? He actually watched it, dude. We've watched probably about 5 horror movies, and I shit you not, she makes it through till the last 5 minutes, and then she walks out. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I'm like, it's almost over. Never has she completed
Mere
one.
seconds.
Mere seconds, and then she's out. I guess it gets the scariest usually at the end of most of these, but still,
yeah, it's all right.
I'm working on it. I'll get there with her.
So how did you get involved with the art scene, I guess, around town?
Well, like Millville, one time I went with one of my hiking buddies to Third Friday, and told me that I should be in there because my stuff is good or better than some of the stuff people that are in there. So then I looked into how to get in there, got into RRCA in Millville, and then went to Millville, and then now my daughter lives in Hamilton near Batstow, so then I checked out the Hamilton Art Club and.
Do you, with your art, are you trying to make a living off of it? Is it just for your own enjoyment? A little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both. In May next year, I'm going to go to the New Jersey Hurricane because my friend from the movie, Tommy's trying to get me to get into behind the scenes photography for movies. So I'm going to try to get into doing that stuff. So,
oh my God, dude, you should go there, bring your stuff, and like show them who you are. Oh my God, with the stuff he creates, Don, like.
Yeah, there's a great website if you don't know about it already. It's called Staff Me Up, and Staff Me Up is basically for looking for people to run crews on films.
Okay.
Yeah, I found out about it through IMDb. And there's constantly stuff looking for still photographers on set, still photographers. Okay. So yeah.
Do you think that they would be a pain in the butt about him not having the formal training on a resume, or do you think they would look at his work?
It's all portfolio driven. Like if you can get the image, like that's what matters most of all. And if you have some of the credits from, working on this film, like doing some, behind the scenes photography and stuff, those images go a long way. I mean, I got into doing like art direction on films because people knew me from set design work, and not like it wasn't even stuff that it was like a friend of a friend knew me, and they suggested me for this, and then that led to other roles.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said by going after stuff yourself, but it's super nice when people recognize your work. And
as opposed to just someone who's been through the quote unquote, I guess, education or the training.
Yeah.
It's same thing. I wish it was that way in my field. Like, in education, you need all the certifications. You got to pass this, that. It's like, but can you teach? Can you get in there and make an impact on the kids? Yeah. Those papers don't prove anything, dude.
Nope.
Just because you took those classes, that doesn't prove anything. But can you get in there? Do the kids like you? Do they listen to you? Did they learn the subject? Like, that's what it should be based on. And it sounds like there is an opening of the door in which they just see what you've done and are impressed, and they're like, come on board. And that's how I feel. I think it should be, right?
No, I disagree.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, wow.
And I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's the end.
I've been waiting 12 episodes, and I finally got to say it.
This is the final episode of Welcome to the Clubhouse. How dare you, sir?
I just want to see if you edit it out or not. That's what I'm waiting for.
Just keep it going.
All right. So that's what you want to do? You want to, like, take photos of, like, behind the scenes, like, as the makeup's being put on? Or
Yeah. So I would just try to find like local people and do that to build a portfolio, and then maybe go for bigger stuff, in a couple of years or whatever.
I don't know if this is still a thing, but when I was doing that acting stuff, I remember there was websites where independent films and college films would just post, and we need, you know.
Sure, like Backstage would have a lot of that stuff back in the. I think they still
Maybe
do,
that's
yeah,
what
but,
I used to look at.
You might find stuff through some of the film. What you call it, the film commissions, like the Philadelphia Film Commission and the New Jersey Film Commission has usually has job postings as well.
Okay.
I wonder if there's Facebook pages and stuff like that.
I'm sure, but it's I like those more professional pages because you get like legit offers. And like, everybody's like, "Hey, I'll give you exposure."
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't pay the bills.
Dude, they wouldn't even, after I did a film, they wouldn't even send me a copy of the DVD. Some of them. Oh, it would piss me off so bad. That's the only reason I did it, is so I could show off to people. And they wouldn't send it. But man, keep us updated with that, because I think that would be a sick job.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what kind of stuff are you, like, aside from that, what kind of stuff are you looking to get into?
I would just like to do what the stuff I like to do, like a lot of the, get a, better following, and I try to spread out a little bit now because it feels like I'm too much in one area. So just like get outside of Jersey and try to take a
Take over
the world.
Did you say take over?
Yeah, take it to like other areas. And
yeah, like I know you've done like Ghost Mart and quite a few other shows in the area. Do you find that some shows have more of, I guess, your audience than others?
Yeah. Usually it's like the oddities, like Ghost Mart, like the darker art stuff, like I do the night markets at Dragon Village because it seems like it's a better, like more my type audience, and but there's like I guess stuff that's geared towards kids I usually stay away from, because usually the parents are bringing the kids for kids activities and they're not really there to shop, or
yeah, that's true.
Neither one's scared of kids.
Wait, I own that doll.
Right.
So did you grow up around this area?
Yeah, I grew up in Bridgeton.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I've been
home
around.
of the Fighting Bulldogs.
Yeah, but I went to Cumberland Regional, so I had the Colts.
Okay. All right. Yeah. My college roommate Paul was in Bridgeton. I went to school in Bridgeton, or grew up in Bridgeton. Yeah, that's so you've been in South Jersey basically your whole life. And it's like what has been some of the, I guess, biggest influences for you, both I guess professionally and personally?
Just meeting and watching different people, through the years. When we went from 8th grade to high school, it was like 4 or 5 schools came into one. So it was like meeting different people, and you're discovering new stuff, and from people who grew up different than I did. So it's just trying to.
Anybody stick out for you?
There was just a bunch of people. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's true.
There's only a few people from back then I still talk to, but everybody went their separate way.
Yeah, have you gone to like a lot of horror cons or those kind of shows, and have you met anybody who that you really admired, that you were able to maybe spend a few minutes with?
There's been a bunch of people. Just I don't know, it's just so many. I've done.
You get to meet any of the legends, like a Tom Savini type, or any of these
I
guys?
met Tom Savini.
You met Tom Savini?
Yeah, we did it at a Creature Feature a couple years ago. He was just walking around. We just talking to him.
No way, dude. Was he nice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's the legend right there. I mean, from a fellow Friday the 13th person. You said you like Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah.
I once interviewed Lauren Marie Taylor. Do you know who that is? Yeah, I interviewed her. Ever since our interview, she started her own little podcast, like Not the Final Girl, podcast because she got killed pretty quick.
Yeah.
She famously wore really ugly brown panties, and that's like her claim to fame in that movie.
Well, to get known for something.
Yeah, at least that's her 15.
Yeah, I actually picked up because of Brian from the South Jersey Jason.
Oh yeah.
Emmenhauser.
Brian, yeah. The man.
Yeah.
I saw him Saturday.
Did you? Great guy.
Yeah.
Super
Love
great
that
guy.
dude. He scared the bejesus out of my kids once because he wears. Sorry to interrupt, but just real quick, he wears the mask, right?
Yeah.
And this is before I even met him or knew who he was, and my kids went up to him. They're like, "Whoa." Can I meet you under the mask? Or said something to him, and he lifts the mask, but under the hockey mask is the Jason warped face, and my kids just looked at him and came back and hugged me. It was amazing.
Awesome.
He got, because Brian's the nicest guy in the world.
The nicest guy.
He felt so bad. I'm like, no, that's exactly what I wanted, Brian, or at the time, Jason.
Yeah, we had him model for us in those early days of
the body drawing.
the life drawing, and he was really upset that I never saw Friday the 13th. So I bought Friday the 13th
The
parts
first
1
one.
and 2. Yeah.
Really? So no hockey mask, just the old school mom. Sorry, spoiler alert.
I still haven't.
You
watched
son
it.
of a!
So I bought them, but
we're going to be fighting by the end of this podcast, Don.
It's fine.
We got the chairs.
So, yeah.
We got the steel chairs. Dude, you know what you should do? And you could correct me if I'm wrong, Leroy, but I believe, he's never going to see all of them. So I think.
I am not. I've actually seen Jason X.
Oh, we are so fighting. I'm like,
It's the only one is that the space one?
That's outer space one.
Yeah.
It does have one of the best kills though, where he shoves the girl's face in like the water that freezes it instantly.
It was like one of those things, I guess it was on like HBO or Cinemax or something like that, and it was like, oh man, it's really late and this is free. So like I stayed up and I watched it and I was like, this doesn't seem like anything like what I know about Friday the 13th. I didn't even know it was a Friday the 13th movie until I like a good chunk of the way through.
I think they were they didn't take themselves too serious in that one because like they'd already been to Crystal Lake for like 6-7 movies, and then they're like, all right, well, let's friggin' go to Manhattan, and then they were finally like, screw it, let's go to space. Like it was just like
it's
ridiculous.
Actually, you know what's funny? It's the Muppets have followed the same trajectory.
Excuse me.
So like the Muppets. So first the Muppets were out in the woods and the swamps and stuff. Then the Muppets took Manhattan.
Shut up.
And then there were the Muppets from space with Gonzo.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah,
is this by design or is this just one of the universe?
I think it's just coincidence. If we have like a Friday the 13th Christmas Carol or something like that,
Jason versus Muppets. Oh my God, I'd watch that.
Yeah.
But no, Leroy, tell me if I'm wrong. But I feel like if he's gonna watch one, and I think he would actually enjoy this one, he should watch Friday the 13th Part 6. Because that's the one that, like, it's the first one where he becomes kind of like this unstoppable zombie Jason, but it's got humor. It's actually, the dialogue isn't so stupid like the other movies. And this is coming from a huge Friday. Dude, we will have a watch party. I would love to watch Part 6 with you. It's a good one.
Maybe we'll do a podcast of that.
Bro.
Just like Don watches Friday the 13th. We'll go through all of them, and I'll give you my play-by-play opinions.
Everyone wants that, Don. Everyone's begging for it.
I know.
Dude,
I do it for you, the listener.
Yeah. Do you agree, though, Part 6?
Yeah.
Out of all of them? Yeah. That's the one, dude. He's got the mask. It's all good. Yeah.
So have you done like, I know you started off with camcorder and that could take camera. Have you done any filming yourself?
Just film cameras?
Yeah, just like have you done? Well, no, not like a film camera, but like video.
Yeah,
like
I've done a lot of like my friends' bands, the video for them, and I was working for a magazine in '99. And they gave me a video photo pass, so I did like a lot of the concerts, a lot of bands.
Oh, cool! What magazine did you work for?
It was called Mainstream Resistance. It was a small out of Texas. He still does. He still does it as a podcast, but
That's really cool.
It was a print magazine.
What kind of bands did you go see with with
metal
them?
and
Yeah, yeah, but like any particular bands like
it was just like a lot of smaller bands. Then he got into Anthrax, so he started doing a lot of stuff with Anthrax. And
okay.
Are we talking when we're talking metal? Are we talking like Metallica? Or are we talking the metal, the screaming? What kind? I don't know.
A lot of death metal and
Death
stuff like
metal.
Yeah.
Please tell me about death metal, dude. Because I would never crap on anyone's taste of music, and certainly there's other types of music I dislike far more. And I don't even dislike it, but I just don't get it. You know, like I don't get it. Like what is it?
Like I guess there's a lot of different types. It seems like the American stuff is the more dirty, grungy, heavier.
It's so heavy,
and
dude.
And then like the Europeans have a lot of keyboards and they still do the growly vocal stuff. And
are you into both of that stuff?
Yeah.
So I'm the kind of guy who, with my kids or whoever's in the car, we rock out. We're singing the songs. Like, I always wonder, these metal guys. You're the guy to ask. Like, what do you do in the car? Are you singing along to that? Can you scream like that?
I can't scream. I try, but I just do it when I'm in the car by myself or driving along. And
can you understand the words? And I don't mean that as an insult. I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, a lot of them. They some like say it talk fast, and some are slow and drag it out. So you got to figure out how they're doing it.
So for a dude like me who's never like really been into it, but never like looked into it, if you were gonna pick one for a guy who's like more into like punk and like I also like 80s and just rock,
right?
What would you say? Like, hey, check this out. This is like the holy grail of it.
I like a band called Hypocrisy. They're out of Sweden. They're pretty good. They do like the early.
Swedish.
Oh, like the fish you love.
Yeah, well, I am also Swedish.
What?
Are you just finding out that Swenson is Swedish?
We haven't done the podcast. Oh, wait a minute. that sounds, okay. Yeah. I'm learning.
There's a track. Yeah.
All
big
right.
Square head.
We haven't interviewed you yet, so we'll get to the Swedish.
Yeah, we'll get to the Swedish.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What's your favorite band?
Like Hypocrisy is one of my favorites. There's Carcass they're from England. Their first couple albums were all medical terminology, so everything was because they were medical students. So all the stuff is you have to have a medical dictionary to actually understand what we're talking about.
That's going
but they're like they do more normal stuff now, but
But
it's still medical based, but it's.
So like a typical song from them is about like what, a medical patient going through surgery or like
I never really looked to the lyrics for the first couple albums because it's just all medical terms.
You would have to like study it and
be a
figure it out. Dude, that's why. And so going back to what I was saying, like in your car, you're listening to this stuff. Are you just headbanging? Are you just listening and feeling at peace? Like, 'cause, dude, when I hear that stuff, my blood starts to, oh my God. Like,
it's good for like long drives and you just makes the times go by and you're just like flying because you're just going along with the music.
dude, you know what? Mike Spagnola wrote something the other day. Mike, do you know Mike Spagnola of The Underground, the punk rock store? He was on this podcast. Well, his girlfriend was, and he was hanging with us. And he made a post the other day that really made me think. It was something along, and I'm thinking about it while interviewing you. It was something along the lines of like, metal punk guys are really good guys pretending to be bad, as opposed to like hippies who are really bad guys pretending to be good.
I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, I'm not saying that's a pretty umbrella statement, but I've seen a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, it seems like metal and horror people are like the best people.
They're so freaking nice.
Yeah, because I've done metal conventions, I've done horror conventions. It's like a family reunion. Everybody gets together and just hangs out and talks.
Everybody's super nice.
Yeah,
everybody's super nice. Did you have a gateway band or let's say gateway band to metal, gateway movie to horror?
Well, it's like I think like in like 7th grade, this kid moved in. And he's like introduced me like to Ozzy and Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden and stuff like that. So then I went to Megadeth and Metallica, and then in high school it was like Core and.
What were you listening to before all that?
just whatever my parents would listen to. Country,
Whatever they're playing in the car.
Yeah.
Top 20 or whatever.
country. Some my mom liked Motown.
And so what? The first time someone put on Black Sabbath, were you just like, what is that?
Yeah. So,
yeah, I remember the first time listening to Sabbath.
My Walkman.
Like, what's up?
On my little Walkman.
On the Walkman. Hell yeah, dude. Me too. I liked some Iron Maiden back in the day too.
Yeah.
And so you went to Korn. And so with what you like now, are all those other bands, do they seem kind of like too light for you, or are you still into that stuff too?
I still like all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel nostalgic for that stuff? Does it take you back to like, when you were first?
Yeah, because Iron Maiden tapes always had this weird smell to them. Like they had the liner really.
Excuse me?
They had like a smell to them, like a. I don't know. I don't know if it's where they were printed, but they had like a.
Was that on purpose?
I don't know if it was on purpose, but they always seemed like all their albums had the same.
Is this a known thing, or is this your
I don't
own?
know. It's just how I felt. But, so when I get an Iron Maiden album, I always expected that smell. Like so, but with the CDs, I don't think. What
do you think they did to those records before they distributed them, brother?
I think it was just the printing process.
Right.
Like there's like a sweet smell. To
Yeah.
them. Yeah. So
just,
that happens a lot with the printing.
But it was just seemed like it
process.
was their albums mostly that.
Yeah, I got the same sniff out of like.
Not that I smell the albums all the time, but
Guns.
Dude, I'm not even listening to this. I'm just
I do
smelling
so
it.
good.
I still do that with books, like old books and new books. Like
Ah.
I just love book smell.
Me too.
But like Appetite for Destruction had that smell to it, and a couple other things. I was like, it's almost like. Did you have? I don't know. I'm old, but did you guys have mimeographs in school where you get like, not photocopies but dittos on with
Had that
blue
black paper?
the blue ink on it,
yeah.
and the blue ink smelled really really good.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we just sniff our worksheets at school.
I'm just a child, Don. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm only 41, dude.
I'm old. I feel old.
By the way, belated happy birthday to my man Don Swenson.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
I meant from when you were 49.
Oh.
When's 50 coming around?
Good save.
Yeah, that was good, right?
Yeah. November 3rd.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right on, the big 5-0.
The 5-0. Yeah.
I hit that in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
It's funny when you go to see your old rock bands and everyone's old in the audience. It's like,
Yeah, it's so weird because like, I'm still, you still think about, even your like your movie stars and like your idols that you grew up with are now in their 70s and 80s and it seems like only recently do they feel like they've gotten pretty old, and then you realize that wow, I'm really only 20 years younger than them.
yeah.
and then you start feeling sad for yourself a little bit.
20 years ago doesn't feel like that long ago, right?
No, it does not.
Yeah. Gotta live for the moment, man.
Live for the now.
I don't know about you, but once I had kids, everything went on fast forward.
Super fast. It's super fast. Like, it's because now it's not. I think it's because now it's not about you anymore. It's like all of a sudden it's like, are they doing okay? What do they need? And not in a bad way. I'm not meaning in a bad way. It's just like finally you understand that there are things that are more important than what your needs are.
Yeah. It just the chaos of it all, and all of a sudden you wake up one morning and look in the mirror. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
what happened?
Who's that dude? Like I keep catching myself like how gray my hair is and like how little there is of it, and I'm like, it's still like I don't feel like that on the inside. I'm still like 18 and
You feel young.
I feel super young, and it's like not even like physically I don't feel bad. Well, I just look worse than
I do wonder. I do wonder if it's because of like what we do. Like you guys are the creative types. You guys get to do a lot of creative work, probably stuff that you would have enjoyed as a kid. I get to do stuff that I know I would have looked up to as a kid. I wonder if, as opposed to the guy who got out of college and since then has been trying to work up the corporate ladder and sitting in the cubicle and doing the paperwork and has got to get those numbers in on time and crunch the numbers. Like I feel like humans aren't supposed to do that. No. Like, and that will make you feel old. And I could be wrong. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of dudes who feel great who are into that stuff. But for the most part, all the friends, all the family that I know who get to do art and get to do photography or get to entertain, they just have this energy that is very similar, you know, a more mature version, but similar to a youthful energy, as opposed to, you know, the people who are doing what I was saying earlier, and they come in to a store and you look at them and that you just feel like, oh, now that's a real adult right there.
Well, I think part of it is about being engaged and having fun. Like there's something to be said for play, right? Because it's not just about goofing off and, wasted time. Play is learning. Play is discovery. Play is one of the most important things that we can do as a creature is to move outside of the path and the box and the packaging that we've been told that we're supposed to dress ourselves in, and actually discover and look at things through a different lens.
I totally agree, and I just looked up this quote by the great Plato. Have you ever heard of his quote about play? I taught this once in my history class, and it's always stuck with me. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation.
Oh, that's certainly true.
I think that's so true, man.
Yeah.
To go out there and just get your sillies out or just be creative and make something awesome like a freaking horror movie. Right. Dude, that to me, that's what life is all about. Right. Like those things. And then that's living in the moment. Not only is it living in the moment, but you get this product afterwards. You get to have the memories afterwards, and those stick with you for the rest of your life. As opposed to not doing that stuff and just taking care of business all day and making sure you're keeping your game face on for whatever reason. I mean, not to knock it. If you listen to this and you are working for the man and that's what you want to do, fine. But just, I imagine there's a lot of people out there who would love to play more and just almost have forgotten. I actually, and this isn't to knock anyone, but there was not too long ago, there was a group, a club in Hamilton that came to my summer camp here, and like the theme of it was like, we're gonna have Mr. Sam come and give us kind of a day at camp. And dude, these people were, some of them were younger than me, some of them maybe a year or two older, but most of them were younger than me. And trying to get these grown men to just let loose and have fun was one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my career. Like, it wasn't even a physical thing, like I'm too old to fit. It's like they just couldn't get themselves out of their comfort zone, just be silly. Like, it had been that long where they, like, I'm sure if I asked you or you, like, to go out and do Gaga with our families, we'd go out and make good asses of ourselves and just laugh about it.
Well, it's, there's hard. Like, I find, like, I have hard situations sometimes with stuff like that. There are times when I'm like, I really don't want to do that. No, please don't make me do that, And there are other times when, like, I can turn it on and be the center of attention, be a clown, be entertaining, but man, there's sometimes when I just, like, I think I'm okay being Wow, we're getting deep here now. Like, I think I'm okay being the character of Don out in public. Like, oh, he's joking. Like, if you've come to, I had somebody comment on this. They sat in on one of my life drawing classes, and they know me more as like like pretty soft spoken. We talk. I can joke around and stuff like that, but I'm not a highly animated person in my personal life. But then you put me in front of a group of people, and I'm going to be telling jokes and making fun of myself, being self-deprecating, and putting that on. But sometimes there are times when I'm just like, I run out of juice.
I think that's normal, dude.
Yeah, and I think sometimes there's people like who want to be that center of attention, but they're still so self-conscious about anything that they're holding on to that it's really hard to let go of that sometimes. And I don't think that's necessarily, it's unfortunate. For sure.
That's sad.
It's definitely unfortunate, but I think there's ways to grow past that. Like, you don't have to be what somebody suggested you were.
For sure.
Right? So you don't have to be like somebody said, like, yeah, you're not an artist, go do this, that. But like, some people just want to be a fire truck, and some people just want to be a clown, and some people just want to, I don't know, draw or dance or something. And maybe you didn't grow up to do that. Maybe that's not the path your life took, but don't if that part of you is still inside of you, let it out once in a while. I think you'll be happy with what you've discovered.
Yeah, and it could be scary. You have to take a risk to do that. For example, you a lot of times you are the center of attention, whether it's a big art club meeting or a show or the various, dude, you do a lot of different things. So you are putting yourself out there, and that does take courage when you're not a kid anymore, and you might be judged. But if you can let that go and not give a crap that, hey, there might be a dude over there who thinks I'm a goofball or I'm a dummy, like, that's that dude's fault. Like, right. You're up there doing your thing, and I think that's pretty badass that you're able to do that. And no one can be on 100% of the time. My son, who has more energy than anyone I know, was just up there, and he was done with the day, laying on the couch. He didn't want to do anything, and that's rare for him. No one's 100% of the time, and I think it's pretty badass that you're about to turn 50, and here you are still creating programs, starting things like a podcast, doing stuff out on Main Street. The list goes on, and here you are, Leroy. You're out in the frickin' woods, going to abandoned barns, finding dolls, which some dude who's sitting behind the desk all day, might look down upon that, and that's not your fault. That's that right. Dude's fault,
Yeah, some people just want to move up, I guess, the corporate ladder, and I've known people who go on vacation and sit on their laptop the whole time and monitor what's going on at work. It's like you gotta let go and just relax once in a while.
Yeah, I imagine that some of them like that. I think a lot of them are just stuck in that and don't know how to get out. And I'm telling you, when I had that activity here, and I saw, because you know me, man, I just love to have fun. I like to host these little parties, and I couldn't believe that these guys who were young men 15 years ago couldn't even bring themselves to having a little bit of silly fun. They just stood back, and you can feel the energy of them just not feeling comfortable having fun,
Yeah.
So here you guys are out and doing it. Leroy, you're out and doing it, man. I think it's friggin' awesome, and I hope you end up getting the jobs you want. Where can people see your work? Where can they purchase your work?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I have an Etsy page. I got to build that up a little bit more.
If they're on Instagram, what do they look up?
There's Raven Dark Photography on both Instagram and Facebook. I think Etsy might be just my name, Leroy Hickman. I'm not sure. I gotta double check on that one, but I got to update it more. I got a Flickr page, Raven Dark Photography, with some of my work, and I think you can order off Flickr. You can order prints and stuff.
And aside from the movie you're about to film, excuse me, what else does this year? How's this year looking for you? You have other projects that we can end up checking out? Any gallery shows? Anything out there?
I'm up in North Jersey, October 19th for the Pumpkin Bash thing, and I think it's in Sayreville. And then I think I have something in Edison. It's a dark art show in Edison in November 16th. And
have you done the dark arts with Don?
I did the dark art show at the Cassianers.
I wouldn't be upset about you mentioning that on
Okay.
on the
I got
podcast.
a couple, 3 pieces in the Cassianers.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah, the 5th
Okay.
annual Dark Art Show.
It's been 5 years.
5 years.
My goodness.
That's my second year doing it, I think.
What a great show. When is the Dark Arts already planned?
It's
Is that a date?
it's already up, and it runs through the entire month of October.
It's in Casciano's?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was used to it being in that other building, wherever that may be. Okay, I didn't realize it was all there. Guys, if you are listening and you love art that is dark, I'm telling you, you will see such a variety of pieces. Even, I believe, some from you, Don. Am I right?
Yeah, I have 2 pieces in there, yeah.
Yeah. So, and is everything there for sale, or is it just for spectating?
Just about every piece there is for sale.
Yeah.
It's it's a really eclectic mix this year. We're super excited. There's everything from traditional painting to digital work to photography. It's stuff that everybody should check out.
Awesome, man. I wonder what Linda Kashan, the owner, thinks of these things.
She loves the dark art show.
She does love the dark
She
arts.
loves the dark art show.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. All October, we start with Leroy. We'll see what other darkness we can bring to this podcast. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing. And Leroy, thank you for joining us,
Thank you for
brother.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Yeah, go check out Leroy's work. You will thank me later. Okay.
And Leroy, don't forget. Yeah, go ahead, dude.
The movie Segmented Jonah on Facebook too, if you want to check that out.
Wait, can you say that again?
It's Segmented Jonah is
Segment to Jonah.
of Jonah. It's on
Segment
Facebook.
of Jonah.
What is that?
It's the movie.
The one that you're
We're doing
going to
now.
film.
Yeah.
And there's already a website out and
There's
stuff.
a Facebook page on it.
Oh, dude, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, Segment of Jonah.
And brother, don't forget, I do stunts, man. You let
All
me
right,
know. You let me know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time. Thank you, gentlemen.
Peace.